This is my 1975 Ford F-250. It's a camper special. I don't know if they call it, yeah, Ranger XLT. Bought this off a gentleman in southern Minnesota. He had got it from somebody out of Arizona. When I had gotten it, pretty much everything internal, as far as anything that wasn't the body, was kind of junk. I mean, everything's been replaced. Front brakes, back brakes, new rims. The rims weren't the right ones. New tires. Everything in the engine compartment was pulled. I dropped in the inline six from my grandfather's 1978 Ford F-150. His truck was northern Wisconsin truck, and he had driven it his entire life. So the body was pretty much shot and rusted out, but everything internally was really good. So this is an Arizona truck, and when I got it, everything internally was shot, but the body was great. You know, there's some surface rust a little bit in the paint, but nothing that goes through. Everything's solid. The thing that I liked about this is that, especially for Minnesota, you don't find these side tool compartments intact. This truck has never been driven in the Minnesota winters. I've shelved it. I don't think I've actually driven it the last couple years. Too busy with family. Put new tires on it. Probably about 20 miles total on the tires. I have a bunch of random extra parts. Grandfather was a Packer fan. So I have a bunch of random extra parts from the 78. I'm going to fire it up now. One thing I've noticed, and I haven't worked on and don't really plan on working on it, is that when it's sat for many days or weeks, it won't fire up right away. I have to kind of work it to get everything running. But today, at least right now, I just moved it a little bit ago, so we'll see if it'll start up right away. Yeah, like I said, it's only when it's been sitting for a while. I think that fuel goes back and just kind of just slides back in. Got the 78 manual from my grandfather's truck. This is the interior. Like I said, there's no rust like you would associate with the northern Minnesota or even a Wisconsin vehicle. Put the seat back here. When I had gotten this, I actually ripped out. There really wasn't anything in the interior. It's pretty much junk. It was empty. He did have the original buckles with it, so I put those back in. They're lap belts. I put some soundproofing underneath and some black matting. Original doors, original materials. Like I said, everything is in really good condition. I don't know if you can hear that, but it runs really nice. Like I said, this is a camper specialist, so you can see where the second battery compartment was. This is more out of the 78 Ford F-150. You had the carb redone. Basically seal it all on again. And I'm looking to sell it basically because I don't drive it, and to me it doesn't make sense to have an old vehicle like this that just sits in your driveway. Definitely a lot of sentimental value in the truck, being that it was my grandfather's, yet at the same time looking to let somebody get it, use it, and drive it. It's got the long box on the back. Being that this was an Arizona truck, when I got it, I noticed a lot of the rubber was dried out, like around the windowsills, or the window, excuse me. This exterior back window, I have an entire replacement trim that I just never put in, and this is what I mean by just kind of dried out. But I do have an entire replacement bead for that. Back end right now just has a bunch of random stuff that I haven't taken out of it. Bed doesn't have any holes in it. Bed's all intact. Like I said, really good truck. I think the kid that had originally owned, or whoever had it in Arizona, they had somehow painted some type of black on that trim that would come right off. But to me, I liked how it looked and I didn't want to mess with it. Here, like I said, just that little light surface rust through. It's been idling since I fired it up. This did have the dual tank at one point. I had an old GMC when I was a kid. We just switched between tanks, but that secondary tank has been removed. This one's been, that doesn't turn said, runs really nice. New shocks, brakes front and back redone, new muffler. I don't know who owned it in Arizona. I know who owned it in Minnesota, just Penn City, and I took really good care of it. Do one last walk around. Like I said, the kid, I think it was a younger kid that had it in Arizona, he had installed the teardrop lights on the roof. Looked pretty sweet at night. So this is again a manual transmission. And that's upside down. Turn it for you there. There you go. This has what we call Northern Minnesota security. It's a manual. Kids don't want to drive that anymore. Original AM radio from my grandfather's pickup truck in it. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't think the heater core fan is working. I never use it. I only drive it in Minnesota, and we use the country air conditioning. You have to teach your kids, if you have them, how to work these doors, these newfangled things. Have the keys, everything locks, replace the ceiling even. No, it's a great truck. Hate to see it go, but like I said, it does not make sense to own something and just have it sitting around. Well, thanks for taking a look. Not sure if you made it to 7.5 minutes of video, but at least you had something to look at here anyway.